Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to D&D, and we're celebrating the birthday of fucking D&D itself, 50 years old. D&D is like, it's not quite old enough to be my parent, but it could, like if it had a sketchy youth, then maybe. How is everybody doing today? We've got Mars, Tats, Katie, Shen, B, and Steve, as always. How are you all?
Yo.
Hanging
I'm
in there,
down.
getting through.
Okay.
Have a happily clean desk.
Beautiful. I like a clean desk. I have one of those, like, it's like a feather duster almost, but it's like static, so it picks up dust easier. And I just rub that over my desk every now and then, and that's it.
Like a Swiffer sweeper.
Yeah, kind of, but handheld. Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Well, I guess let's get into it. Where we left off last time, we had um, an explosion of a ship where you completely annihilated one branch of an organization responsible for the caging and slave trade of individuals, including your very good Ruby. You then also managed to level up. You took a week of downtime, in which time Isabel helped Ruby to learn some new words and get to know different sort of texts and books. You all also had your loot that you found upon the ship before leaving it, which was beneficial to Ruby because Ruby took a book and so learned some of that A to Z within that book using Isabel's help. And a bunch of the rest of you found other things, like a ring and a cloak and some boots. And you've all taken another level. You are now level 5 each. And I believe that each of you have continued upon the same class that you were in before, apart from Ruby, who has taken on a patron and has become one level of warlock. How are you all feeling today about the announced things from last time? This
About
is
the
for
evil
later.
patron.
About the evil patron.
Thank you.
About the super evil
How dare you?
ancient demon patron. Yeah.
Slander. Insults and
great.
slander.
Everyone in
Right.
chat, that's a little clue
I'm
for
really
later. I didn't
excited
get a
All
chance to
fun.
put it on yet.
about us all dying and having our hearts eaten.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's certainly a choice, isn't it? Well, where do you think that you would find yourselves at the end of this week of downtime? Do you think that you would still be in Linborough Port, or do you think that you would have travelled somewhere? Going by foot without teleportation, you would be only able to really move the distance of one city away.
I think perhaps we might have moved on from here.
So Linborough Port is sort of north of Ironfront. Dreidel itself is not inside of the Red Wall. Dreidel itself is actually part of a territory called Sithmaru, which is sort of... It's not really seen by most people in this land as being a separate entity from the Red Wall, but it is, it is still legally distinct. It's just that they have open free borders because of the war and how you all dealt with things. So actually, Dreidel was a separate entity, and then Linborough Port is just on the borderline between the two. So Ironfront would be back inside, the Green Wastes would be back inside, but everything else, if you went north or anywhere else, you would still be in Sithmaru. Where do you think you would have gone?
I mean, I'm from Ironfront, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think because this was like the ship was kind of my lead for my case.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and now there's likely zero evidence. I would imagine. So
bad.
no, it's fine. They was slave traders. They deserve to die.
It went boom.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So I don't think Victor's particularly mad about that. So I don't know from. I don't think Victor's sure from here. I think he's just kind of gonna go with wherever everyone else deems fit. Because we could return to my hometown. But
It's a few of your hometown, actually. It's Briar and
Yeah.
Isabel's hometown
Yeah.
as well, I believe.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of talk of Ironfront.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can have a check-in for some of us.
perhaps we could do that. I could check with. See if there's anything else I can pick up.
Maybe
I mean,
you could
I'm
find your
cool going
girlfriend.
back to
Ace.
nature.
Wise. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my friend from my childhood could have returned there. It's perhaps unlikely, but if it's close, then it might be worth using it as a jumping off point to the next bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm happy to go to Ironfront. So
Yeah. Cool.
Mhm.
Why is that doing that to me? I don't know why. Giving everybody's portraits wrong. Trying to make sure that this actually works properly. So who have I got there? I've got everybody but Victor. Okay. So you would have moved on, you think, back towards Ironfront. Okay.
Yes.
So we will
Sensible.
activate that as a map, and we'll move back over there so that everybody can see where they're talking about. I think I've got 2 tokens there for Ruby on the map. Yeah, there you go. So you're in like the center area of the city. You have various things around you. You find that there are not very many people walking around and about these days. Seems like it's a little bit deserted today. You're sort of early morning as well. There's not really a lot going on about surrounding you. But as you go about your day today, what do you think you would have done last night on your on the last night of your downtime before getting back into it? Anything that you think you would have been doing? Would you have been eating cheese together? Would you have gone out and,
I would have been asking people
celebrated?
to put spells in my ring, though.
Cool. Well, you can store up to 5 spell slots total. So, a 1, 2 2s, that would total that ring. So, what spells do you think you would want in there? Like healing spells, teleportation spells? What are you looking for?
I mean, I put 1 pass without trace in there.
Cool. And what level is that?
And
Is that a 1?
let me double check.
Ooh.
Keep track of what
Level
levels
2.
they are. It's level 2. So then
Yeah,
you've
it's level
got
2, yeah.
a 1 and a 2, or 3 1s, or a level 3 that you can now put in it. So what else do you want that other people have got stocked?
I don't know. What would anybody suggest?
I've got a poison spray. I've got an acid splash. Got a color spray. Trying to keep an eye on levels here. Yeah, that's the first level. Second level, I've got a levitate, misty step, or Nether's mischief.
I think Misty Step would be good.
Misty step. There we go. So that's a level
And
2.
then- So I need
So then you
one
can
more
get a
spell
level
for
1.
level 1.
Yeah.
So first level spells, I've got, hold on, absorb elements, color spray, comprehend languages, and sleep.
Maybe
Does Briar have any healing spells, maybe?
Because
Yeah,
if
I
you
have
rest this way
healing
after.
word or cure wounds at level 1.
And that
I think,
works. It's up to you, though.
Healing Wounds would be a good one.
Right, healing word is
I
level
mixed them up,
1.
didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Cure
kinda
wounds
put
and
'em
healing
together.
word, yeah.
Yeah.
Healing
Cast
wounds.
them both and it
Yeah.
Par
comes
for
out
the
as that.
course.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if
Just
I
as a
could
quick
inflict wounds on somebody and it heal you, that'd be kind of awesome. But
Healing word is 1d4 plus spell casting modifier. I'm not sure how it with like a stored spell, if it would go off mine or if it would go off yours. My modifier is +4, so it would be 1d4 +4. Or
Yeah,
cure
mine is
wound.
also +4.
Cure wounds is
All right.
1d8 plus 4.
So we have Cure Wounds. We have Misty Step, and we have Pass Without Trace. I'm going to keep track of these at the start of each session. Say again, sorry, Ruby.
I do have a spell on Foundry.
You're
Oh,
breaking
you
up.
kinda sound like a
You're like
robot.
cutting in and out. Your microphone's not working very well. What was the healing one that you went for again?
Oh,
Was it
sorry,
Cure
bear with me.
Wounds or Healing Word? The rest of you. Ash and Briar.
Healing
Was
Word.
it Healing Word?
It depends what you want. Cure wounds is touch, and then healing word
Yeah,
heals
healing
for
word.
less, but you can do it at range.
What are you going for?
The not the touch one, the other one.
Range. Okay, good. Yeah,
Healing word.
so I need you to stay honest with this, which means not to say that you would, to try and deceive me, but it's to say that if you don't tell me at the start of each day what spells you want in the ring, then there are no spells in the ring, because it only lasts for 24 hours. And it's one of those missed abilities things that I have in the home rules, that if you don't talk about what ability you have, then it never happened. Because if you're not thinking about it at that point, then your character wasn't either. So
have a
keep hold
question.
of that. Yep.
Does this spend one of my spell slots currently?
So what it does is it takes your spell slot when you cast it, but then you do it before your long rest, so that you get the spell slot back on the next day anyway. It just means that now you've also got 24 hours of that spell being in the ring. So it's
Awesome.
whatever spell slots you have left at the end of the day, you just spend them into the ring, and then everybody's got something that extra person can use, on everybody.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. So yeah, the other
So,
bonus thing
you hear
is
me
that
next
it doesn't.
time?
Yes, the other thing is that it doesn't take Ash's spell slots to cast it. So what were you saying then, there, B?
What I was saying is I do have a first level spell. It's not on Foundry. That was all.
Right. Do I need to re-import your thing?
I think might do. Sorry for the delayed response on that one.
Yeah, it's all right. Sometimes problems happen.
Thank you, it's
there you go.
there. I'm just excited. I have spells.
Yeah, because I think last time you hadn't decided what spells you were going for, so I hadn't imported them yet. Okay. So you get up, you have breakfast. What's the day's morning looking like for all of you? You've got all of these spells in your ring now. Everybody's taken their rest. Everybody has taken their levels. You're all feeling much more fit and agile. What's the morning's breakfast routine now that you're feeling so much stronger?
Good morning, cheese.
That cheese is sweating and is on the verge of going off. I want you to be aware of that.
Oh,
Oh no, not
monkey
the cheese.
cheese. Guys, I think we need to
Oh,
find
wait.
more food and maybe better, different food.
How does hunting work here?
Well, there are hunters and you can hunt, but a lot of the place is sort of built up, so it's not sort of
Oh,
straightforward.
so I can't just nose for a boar or something.
Do we smell anything cooking on the air?
You can probably buy breakfast.
You could probably buy it, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, but do we smell anything cooking?
Yeah, you've got a butcher's nearby, you've got a baker's nearby. I think that, what do you call
Butcher,
it?
the baker, the candlestick maker.
Correct. I think that Victor would know about these things. You would also know about the inn that's nearby as well. And then, of course, there is the meat plant that Victor worked for. Just in more investigative capacity.
Yeah, I think they're more like part of the supply chain, though, right?
They are.
Well,
It's you know,
being
it's
able to
not
buy from another
not out
guy.
of the realm of possibility for an adventuring party to go up to a factory and say, "Hey, give me all your shit." Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
it's there, but you know, you might not be that kind of group to go and do it.
Don't know about you
I'm-
guys, but I fancy some bacon and eggs. Oh, sorry, was that offensive, Ash? The eggs.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I don't think Ash is affected by it because they're not saying anything about it.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
I
I was
like the
muted.
sound of a baker.
Go on then, Ash. What would you have said?
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. I was answering my chat.
Oh,
I
you were
had a question.
deafened. Okay. Isabel
just said
asked, yeah, bacon and eggs. Would you be offended by the eggs?
As long as they're not my eggs, I don't care.
Fair enough.
No, just normal chicken eggs.
No Eric Cocker eggs, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd sell them commercially.
So, well, you know
You
that there's a
never know.
butcher's right by you. You know that there's a baker's right here, and you know that there's a tavern just down the way.
I think
You see
breakfast
that
at the
people start
tavern would
to.
be-
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I think. You do see that there's a lot of commoners
would
and
be a
guards
good idea.
that are getting
Um,
about their
I
day
think
and
we
starting
can
to mill around in the
set up a
streets.
camp in the square. Cook.
Yeah. Let me get back over to the battle map then, so that we can see this whole thing for everyone in chat as well. There we go. Yeah. So the alleyway down this way will lead down towards the tavern. I assume you're all going. If you are, then
Yes.
move
There's
your
promise of
tokens.
breakfast.
Yes.
Get your
Can I
tokens
just check?
moving then.
Is Leopold with us?
They can be if you think that you would have brought them.
Well, where would
Oh
we
yeah, I wouldn't have
left
left him alone. I would have
All
brought
right.
him with us.
There you go then. Here he is.
Your friend is welcome to, if he doesn't wish to follow us on our adventures, he is welcome to stay at my place, as I won't be there, if that suits. I'm sorry, I am
Thank you,
assuming
Victor.
that I have a place
That's
that I
very
live
kind.
in town.
Yes, you have a place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's small, but he's welcome to stay there, until I return. At
Thank you,
least.
Victor.
Sorry, where's the tavern entry?
You've gone to the start of the alleyway. You need to start walking down it. I'm wondering whether Briar is going to be joining you because Briar's just sort of stood there by the well still. Just getting some fresh water.
Oh, is it over here?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So Leopold dutifully falls in behind Ruby. Looks sort of out of place. The rest of you are in adventuring gear and look, you know, newly strengthened, and Leopold just looks like they've finally had a wash for the first time in, like, maybe 15 years. But they step inside ahead of you all. They don't really know what social etiquette is, so they sit down at a table and start drinking.
I run straight after.
He doesn't even check what's in the mug. He's just sort of like, "Oh, this is a place that has drinks and food. I will sit down and eat and drink because that's what's happened for me so far." So yeah, he
Leopold,
has.
was that drink here when you sat down?
Yes, is it not? Yes.
We could get you a fresh
Oh,
drink.
Oh, this is
we
fine.
could get you a new
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
think I'm already at the bar.
let's.
Well, I'm fine with it. It was days between when I would be able to eat and drink. I'm happy with this. I don't need you to waste money on me.
Leopold, I understand, but I don't want you to get ill by drinking from someone else's mug.
It just also might belong to someone else, so let's get you your own. We can afford it, don't worry about it.
Victor climbs on top of the bar.
Whoop.
Yeah,
Excuse me, can you get down from there?
Okay.
Thank
yeah,
you.
I was aiming for the seat.
Sure you were.
I just woke up. I'm a little clumsy first thing in the morning.
It's too early for that.
That's quite an agile clumsiness that you have there to accidentally climb on top of a bar. What can I
can
get for you,
fall
friend?
upstairs.
Start spinning it above my head.
What can I get for you, friend?
Could I are we able to open up a tab and I will close it once myself and my friends have had breakfast?
Of course, yeah, of course. We
The
normally ask
people
for
over
a
here,
deposit of some kind, so that even if you don't, even if you
sure,
don't pay the
sure.
whole thing in advance now, that we've at least got something if you skip on your tab,
Yeah, I popped 10 gold on the counter. Will that? I would assume
This
that'd be enough.
this will more than cover your whole time here. This is way more than a deposit than I was looking for.
Then hang on to it and that's fine. We will.
I tell you what,
Some of
I'll
my
give you
friends may
back your
need-
change afterwards. I'll keep track of how much
Yes,
you're having,
yes,
and I'll make
of
sure
course.
I'm honest. You keep me honest.
That's fine. This is fine.
Okay. What can I get you all?
Is there a menu or do you just have breakfast?
If
I
it
don't think
comes off a
anyone's
pig,
particularly
we've probably
fussy.
got it.
Pizza.
We have water that we purify at the local mage school, but there's not really much more than ales besides that. So it's basically you want water, great. You want juice? We have juice, but it's a bit more expensive than the ale. Ale is real easy to make, but juice is real hard to keep stored well. For whatever
Okay, if
reason,
you
when it
could
gets
bring,
warm, it just goes off. We've not figured out how to fix that yet.
Bring a couple of jugs of both and whatever you see fit.
Some pig?
for
You want some pig?
breakfast.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
the
Bacon
I'm
and bread,
gonna-
please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Bacon.
holler
I
over
I
to.
heard
We have
talk of
bread as
bacon
well.
egg,
You want?
so-
Do you want to? You
Yes,
know, I've been
right.
working on this thing that I think might start taking off. Don't tell any of the other taverns you go to, but I tend to find that if you get the pig meat and you pull it apart, for whatever reason, it just tastes so much better.
I'll try it.
You want me to? You want me to pull some of
whatever you
your
want,
pig? I'll give you a pulled
Yeah.
pig
Oh.
sandwich. Yeah.
You,
Okay.
you
Let's give it a
definitely pull
try.
that pig apart.
Oh, I'm gonna go and pull that pig apart. Okay.
Anybody else wanting on this?
Do it.
Don't forget
Definitely.
the cheese.
If you have cheese as well.
We
then
have a cheese
would be-
addiction here.
We do
We
have some cheese,
funky
yeah.
cheese.
Well,
Then
I mean,
please bring all of it for now.
it didn't start out life as a blue cheese, but it is now. Is that okay?
That's kind of like the cheese we've got too. But
What
ours
does it
is a little
start out as?
sweatier.
Oh, that looks... Oh. Wow. Could you leave that outside? Is that okay? I don't think I'm going to be
Sure.
able to get the smell of that out.
Yeah, we
Thank-
can leave it
thank you.
outside.
Yeah.
I go outside
thank
and I
you.
dump the cheese.
You see a rat the size of a cat, run up towards it and just start fucking gorging on it.
I just motion towards it and I just kind of toss it off to the side so it can run after it.
Yeah,
And then I go back
this enormous thing catches the whole wheel of cheese out of the air and just grabs it and carries it and runs.
Ew.
Moments later, from inside, you can hear through the floorboards the sound of a very large rat massively vomiting real quick.
Oh no.
I think the cheese was bad.
You think? Yeah, looked like pretty bad cheese to me. Well, look, I'm here at your service.
Oh,
I
now
will
we
get
know.
your drinks and your food ready. Find any table. There's only one other guy in here, and that's Steve. Hey, Steve! Steve's like, all right. How's it going? Yeah, I'm all right.
If you could keep Steve topped up as well, then I'll happily cover that.
I'll go with that too. I like you. You're a friend of mine now. Hello,
Wait.
I'm Steve.
Oh. Hello.
He shakes your hand for an uncomfortably long time. He has very clammy palms.
It
Ew,
is
poor
nice
Steve.
to meet you. It is nice to meet you. I wipe them down, wipe my hand down my jacket a little, kind of smiling as I.
Oh, yeah.
Finish
Yeah, I'm a
shaking
bit
his hand,
sweaty.
just
Sorry.
walk
I'm a bit
off.
sweaty.
Oh no,
Well,
no.
thank you very
Nothing of
much.
it. I'm going to go and rejoin my friends. Have a good day. No, it's okay. And
Oh,
I
Victor,
can't drag
you're
myself.
sat
I've
on
put
top of
myself
me.
into it. Yeah, sorry. I
It's okay. You can sit on me if you want.
didn't drag quite far enough. I was like, oh no, I'm very clumsy today. I told you I'm clumsy in the morning.
So, as time goes on and you all enter into conversation and revelry, and you're in a light mood given you're a week past this whole explosion, and things have been doing well for you, of course. You've had time to sit, reflect, read, and play around with the loot that you've got. You've learned how to use much of it, but some of it you are still sort of getting used to. And in time, these pulled pig sandwiches come over. And of course, Aaron does that for you all. Introduces himself as he gets back over to the table. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself before. That's Steve and I'm Aaron. Here you go. And he drops off all these plates. He gives you 2 large jugs, one of which is apple juice, and one of which is an ale, some just nondescript ale. And he also gives you a couple of glasses of water just in case you wanted those, you know, like steins of them. Like heavy glass, the kind of thing that can be thrown at a wall and the wall is worse off for it. And then he goes over to Steve and he gives Steve his regular. Steve doesn't drink alcohol. Steve comes here for the juice. But yeah, he has some juice and your coin total reduces by a little bit, but you've still got some left. Is there anything that you're all talking about as you're sat here eating and drinking and relaxing?
Do we know about Ruby's new commitment?
There would, I think, be some kind of a connection to the stranger to form the bond. However, the stranger does tend to talk to people in their dreams.
Yeah,
So
so,
it's
yeah,
not
that's fine.
necessarily something that would come up unless Ruby mentioned it. But we did also
think
narrate
I'm
at the
gonna
end of
sit
last
and
session
kind
that
of
Ruby's dreams
frantically,
are
like-
starting to get nicer, like less tortured, more like a you know, not so much a friend, but a work colleague is coming into your dreams rather than an adversarial person.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say and probably like be scribbling in my notebook a little bit and looking over my notes and kind of keeping mostly to myself while I'm eating, but I'm just kind of concentrating on trying to figure out
Great.
what my next step is, at least. But
Great.
everyone else is obviously free to chatter around me.
As you all sit down, talk, eat, drink, just relax. Leopold looking over at Ruby, studying the shapes and contours of your arms and your face just to see where the similarities are. Still looks a little bit shaken by the whole thing. Not quite 100% like, I know what just happened to me. More like, you know, I'm concerned still. I don't really know what the fuck is going on. And just sort of trying to remember things and make connections in his mind. He does all of this while he's still nursing the terrible drink that was on the table here before, you know, before it got cleared away when he arrived. And I'm sure that one of you would have pulled that away from him and given him something fresh, and he starts to drink that as well. But then he sort of has this look of guilt on his face, like he's done something wrong for taking this drink. And while you're all seated here, and while you're all enjoying the time that you're back in Ironfront, you also notice something appear. There's something appears outside through one of the windows. There's something appears in the bar in with you. There's something that you hear sort of like whoop, 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 whoop around everywhere that's just sort of these like discs that just appear in the air. Aaron remarks on it and says, "Oh, this is new. What's this?" And then the disc, it seems to be oriented towards whoever is looking at it simultaneously. So it's like an illusion kind of thing, like a scrying sensor. That no matter who is looking at it, they will see it facing towards them. Nobody ever sees it side on. and a face appears inside of this scrying sensor. I will show you the character artwork now. This person speaks to everybody from this sensor, and you hear the voice sort of echoing around the streets from outside, from all the way down along Ironfront. Good day to you all. My name is Ox. Whether you find yourself waking for the beginning of the day or heading to sleep after a long night's work, I bid you fair health and future. I am speaking to you now from the once fair city of Dreedle. Unfortunately, it is my charge that I speak on a subject I would rather be spared. However, it is my duty to do so. Authorities here have called upon me from my home in the north of Sithmaru to aid in the murder investigation of 2 high-profile individuals. At this point, their families are being contacted, so we must keep their details private for matters of discretion. They were, however, members of a group tasked with the keeping of Ragnarok from occurring. For those unaware, this is the foretold occurrence where the god Loki will be freed, among many tragic events to follow. It is my intention that we prevent this from happening at all costs. The city of Dreedle has been only one of the 2 crime scenes. However, they have also suffered dearly the loss of a whole shift of armed guards, as well as the collapse of their major infrastructure. We have sent for dwarves from Tushuga to assist in the rebuilding of this area with the swiftness of the bull and the combined strength of a herd of oxen. Authorities have been drafted at my request from neighboring towns and villages to aid in the search for the perpetrators. I am certain that there is no malicious intent, as accidents happen all the time. Their proximity to the crime scene, however, does make them people of interest in these investigations. Should any of you happen upon people matching the descriptions seen in these artist renditions, and you see 6 images appear on the screen that are all very vague approximations of what you each look like, please speak to your local authorities. We are also investigating the involvement of the rogue group known as the Acolytes of the Fall. It is our understanding, and my inclination, that they may have some hand in the senseless tragedies that befell our fallen brethren. Please be careful. The streets, fields, mountains, and streams we call home are not always safe. Those we call friends are not always faithful. I would sooner spill my own blood than any citizen of Alandressa. I send my ever-enduring love to you all. Goodbye for now. And the 6 images, in turn, get enlarged on the screen one by one so that everybody gets a good look of what's there.
I think it's time to go.
I'm right with you.
The
Edge of the blue
sensor
sky.
disappears after about 2 minutes, where it's just there lingering, like sort of rifling through each of your images. I would like for you to make a deception check if you're going to find a way to get out of this by just slipping out the back.
I would like to cast Pass Without Trace right now
Mm.
from my
Okay.
ring.
Right.
Uh,
So that will give you a +10 to your stealth checks.
Mm. Yes.
So which one
perhaps
am I
we should-
rolling?
Deception was what I asked for.
Yeah.
Ooh. Nat 20. I think. No.
No,
Close.
that's a nat
Close.
19, but it's close.
Oh, come on.
Okay. So we've got a
Yeah.
group check of 18, which is not that bad. That's pretty good. This guy's a commoner, so he doesn't have any bonuses on
bad.
anything. So he's going to check with insight, but he's going to have advantage on the insight because he's seen you guys around here for long enough now to know that you are the guys. Even with advantage, he only gets a 15. He turns around to each of you. That was weird, wasn't it? Crazy.
Yes, a little.
Unfortunately, Steve gets a nat 20.
Uh,
Oh,
I
right.
also got a nat 20 though. Dang it.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, right. You just basically hear Steve saying all of this to himself as he's like struggling with the inner voice, his conscience telling him that this is all okay, you know? But maybe it's not okay. But maybe it is okay. But maybe it's not okay. And
Maybe
Aaron
give him
hasn't
another
really. Aaron's been paying more
Perhaps we need
attention to the
to-
bar at this point than he has the sensor screen. Magic happening around him is not that big of a deal to him. But you know, he sees bar fights where people throw spells all the time. It's just a difference of like the gravity of the words involved and the fact that you guys were all pictured. He wasn't paying that much attention to the pictures, or he's not been paying that much attention to you, one or the other. However, Steve, on the other hand, has been staring at you through the backs of your heads for this whole time, because he's very glad that you've given him some of his juice, and he's very happy for this juice. He's also not intoxicated because he's not been having alcohol, so that's why he rolled flat. But he did roll a nat 20. So he sees the group for what you are.
I'll kind of whisper to everybody. Perhaps we need to go and have a chat with our friend over there to make sure he doesn't go running straight to the guard.
You see his eyes are sort of like, his head's tilted and his eyes are staring at the ceiling, and he's sort of like muttering to himself like, and then he looks down at the like tankard of juice and he's like, nods his head a little bit to the side like, and shrugs a bit.
Would you like another
Um,
juice?
Juice? Oh, juice. Yeah. What was that all about?
Not sure. Kind of confusing to me.
Government rhetoric.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of people who look like me running around, so
Sorry, I don't have a point of reference for that. What do you mean?
I'm a very common tabaxi,
Tabaxi.
I guess.
Yes, for example,
Well, I guess, yeah.
my boss, Big Red, looks very similar to my friend here.
Oh,
sure you
Big
know who Big
Red,
Red is.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Big Red. I heard a few days ago that Big Red died, really horrifically.
Yes, we are investigating. Hence our traveling around. So there must be, perhaps there's been some confusion with our investigation overlapping with this one, and the authorities don't.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
understand.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think we'll go and explain, maybe go and have a chat with them. So any
I think that's what this guy
bystanders,
was saying
yes.
about. What was his name again? Ox? Yeah. I think that Ox guy wanted you to talk to people about it. Yeah.
Yes, so perhaps before any bystanders get
We
involved,
can share
we'll go and do that.
information.
Yes. So please don't trouble yourself about it.
Oh no, it's no trouble at all. I find it my duty to keep Ironfront safe. I don't do
Yes,
much
same.
else, but I work hard and I keep the the factories and everything running the way that they should. And I get my daily sup of juice here, and Aaron supplies it. Look, I don't have any particular problem with you guys. I know that whatever this is probably more complicated than I need to pay attention to. But I wouldn't be a good citizen if I didn't tell somebody about it as well. Just to make sure, I know that you guys are saying that you're going to do that as well. I kind of just want to make sure myself as well. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to excuse myself. Thank you, Aaron, for lovely juice. He's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. And he walks off.
See,
Do we need to follow him?
You need
I'm
to...
in the doorway.
You need to,
Okay.
So you cast sleep,
Oh,
but you do
shit.
actually need to roll to see if you can beat his total HP.
all right. I don't. Okay. The damage roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. 5d8 does beat 4 HP. So yeah, he
I'm
like
trying to target just him
Yeah.
though.
oh, so this is an area though, isn't it? Can you
Yeah.
is it a 20-foot
I don't
sphere? So is
know
that
how to undo it.
well we can move the template, but it's about like in the moment would you have thought about doing that, do you think?
Yes, I'm trying to aim just for him.
Right. So in that
So I would
moment
have
you would have
tossed
tried
it
to do it here.
further.
Well,
Okay.
even if it hits one of us, it wouldn't.
It goes for that total of
it doesn't take-
16. Yeah, that total of 16 doesn't mean that everybody's going to go down. It's the total HP added together of all of the collective people that you've tossed it on. So like if
Yeah.
anything it wouldn't make Ash or Briar or you go to sleep. It would just like you'd feel a bit woozy for a second and then right yourself.
Got
Yeah,
it.
it
This guy
doesn't
would
take
fully
the
like
HP off.
yeah, this guy would just like fully like smack into the ground.
Yeah. I was also thinking though that Aldrin was aiming for him when he was over here. You know?
Right. So
And
like
so
there.
he moved forward. So yeah, more like
Okay.
that. That's where I
Well,
was trying to hit
again, it would still not send you
Yeah.
or Ash to sleep because your HP totals are more than 16, and
Yeah.
it takes his off first. So you aim for people, and it takes the person with the lowest HP first, and then it targets people
Alrighty.
after that. So
Did you
after
just
getting
kill
his
him?
4 HP,
No,
it
sleep.
would then sleep. After
Okay.
it targets your HP to see who goes
Yeah,
to sleep
just start.
first. So
Gotcha. Okay.
so it hits his 4 HP total first, and that leaves 12. And then that 12 goes into whichever of you and Ash have got the lower HP. So Ash has got 46, and Aldrin's got 37.
37.
So
So I
Aldrin,
take
you
this.
throw it at this guy, and you feel 12 HP's worth of just... Ooh, I'm a bit sleepy now. So if anything, it just gives you like a nice mellow.
Okay.
Uh,
He's asleep now.
And yeah, as Don says in chat, Steve had his juice, and now it's nap time. He's having a little nappy nap. But I want to see how subtle you can make this. Briar is stood directly in front of him. I want to see how well Briar can catch him to make it look like he's not just face planting the floor. Because he is going to go fully out. He's not going to subtly and slowly slow to the floor. He's just going unconscious on his feet. So, Briar, let's give this either an athletics roll for the strength of the catch, or a sleight of hand to see if you can like Aikido his way into a like nice pose. I'll let you choose which. Athletics or
Okay, I was just gonna say,
athletics
is it my
or
choice?
sleight of hand. Yeah.
I've got +2 to athletics, so I think that's a little bit
Okay.
better. But
15 is what I wanted, and you have hit a 15.
Yeah.
So you manage to catch this guy, like cradle him almost, and you manage to sit him down onto a nearby stool. He sits down on the bench next to you, and he's sort of head forward, slumped over his arms perfectly. He just looks like he's gone for a nice nap, like Don
Nap
says.
time.
And yeah, this is now no longer in effect. The sleep lasts for 1 minute. That's how long this spell lasts for. So let's see how quick you
Yep.
can get out of here.
Let's go, guys. We gotta go.
Let's go,
So
go,
I
go.
did do the pass without trace. I don't know.
You did
if-
earlier. That's a stealth
Tell the
check
man
that
to
gives
keep the
you an extra
change.
+10. So yeah, the question is, do you want to tell this guy to keep the change or go back to him? I am watching the
I
clock
don't
to
know
see
how-
if you are taking longer than a minute, by the
yes.
way. IRL.
Keep the change.
Oops.
I'm going to I might quickly just tie our guys' feet together under the table, like try and sneak under the table really quickly before I leave,
Okay.
and I'll catch everybody
Give
up.
me a stealth check and a
Um,
sleight of hand check.
Cool. Stealth I do with advantage.
And you get a +10 because of the pass without trace. 22 is good. And now,
So a
So-
32.
yeah, 32.
um,
So you do it completely invisibly. Now give me your sleight of hand. 10. You do a piss poor job of it. And with that, the minute is over, and he wakes up with you underneath the table, holding onto his boots. Because that's been a minute now, and the spell only lasts a minute. So he looks down and sees you there. Oh, okay. Right. Well, this is made much easier for me now. I mean, he just pulls his feet apart, and you know the laces don't really tie, nor did the whatever rope you used. And so he just stands to his feet, and he's like, "That was really weird. I was walking, and then something happened, and now, you know, I found myself on this stool, and now you're trying to tie my legs together. That's so weird. Look, I'm just gonna go. We can talk about this some other time, right? Yeah? Okay. Aaron, just call one of the guards and make sure that they're outside the door, just for a time, you know. All's well. He turns around and sees you guys, and he walks in the other direction.
Oh, I think everyone else left. I was.
There's two people. Yeah, two people are stood in the alleyway. Ruby and Briar are stood directly in the alleyway outside the door.
Real
Wait,
quick
what
question:
on?
Is
Oh,
this
Leopold!
over here?
I lost him. I couldn't
He's
leave.
still inside. He's still inside.
Well, I
this way
couldn't
out?
move him, so I had to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you. I'm getting real lag on this. I will give you ownership of his token. How's that?
Thank you.
Dragon.
There you go. Now you have ownership of his token. You can move it.
Thanks,
Victor, you're still inside. You very stealthily found your way underneath the table. Aaron thinks that there's nobody inside there now. He's just going to walk over towards Steve's table and start cleaning it up. And then he's going to head over towards yours. He very gratefully accepted the extra coins, as he's now noticed that there's nobody else inside the place. What's Victor doing at this point?
North.
I'm probably gonna pull my scarf up over my face and attempt to leave. Is there another way out?
There's the one door. There is a ladder at the back that heads into like the rafters where they keep a lot of their stock. Like here.
Okay.
I was asking, is
you'd have
this
to walk
out
past the
here
guy, though.
a way out of the city?
Yes, that's like a gateway to this part of the city. It's not out of the city, it's just another district. This is like this is like city center of Dreedle, not Dreedle, of Ironfront. This is the city center. So wherever you go, you're going to be going into like suburbs or whatever. The fantasy equivalent of the suburbs. You can see them starting to like crop up here where all these houses are. So you're going to do some kind of a, you know, makeshift disguise, okay?
Yeah, I have like a neck scarf that I can pull up over my face.
Cool.
And I'm going to. And I heard him call for the guards to the door, right?
He asked Aaron to make sure that there was a guard at the door at some point, and then he went off in a different direction. He left.
Okay, I'm just gonna book it then to try and catch everybody up. So I can dash and stuff, so I'm fast.
Yeah, sure.
But yes, I'm gonna just.
What's your priority as you're running? What are you looking for or hearing for?
I'm going to be watching out for guards. I think it's more of like a fast walk, trying to remain kind of inconspicuous. And like, if I see guards come in, I'll like slow down, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to effectively stealth, but in a blending in kind of way.
Yeah. Your stealth check. Yeah, you did roll it with advantage, didn't you? Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that you rolled it with advantage, because you get that. Yeah, you get that with advantage now because of your new loot. Okay, so as you step outside, just give me a perception check.
I'll change that later. That's okay.
What, are you taking a new proficiency today?
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, just keep it on perception, but I didn't say, so that's my fault. I can do it later.
I could change it now for you. What do you want it to be? What are we changing it from?
I mean, it would only make it a 9, so it's not great anyway.
Might as well do it.
It was on perception before. It's just because we've took a long rest. It removes it, I think.
Oh, okay.
And
so you've not lost it off anything else. We're just adding it to perception now, then.
Yeah, because it was on perception. It was on perception previously.
There you go then.
But it's still only a 9. So.
Yeah. So you roll a 9. You don't really hear or see much, and you just continue on down the alleyway. As you get to here, you see everybody out here towards the gate, all waiting for you, trying to look inconspicuous.
Yes, I will continue towards them.
Okay.
As soon
Where do you think you're all going to
as-
go?
For Ruby, as soon as Victor's arrived, Ruby's priority is going to basically trying to get Leopold somewhere safe,
Mhm.
because he's not part of the six. So Ruby's going to say, Victor, where where the stables in this town or in Ironfront? I want to try and get Leopold back to my family, back to where I'm from. Get him away from us for a time.
Now, as Stee, I don't know that, but I assume Victor would know and would be able to explain where the stables
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
And
Towards
direct
the
people.
eastern side, yeah. The eastern edge of town, there's like
Oh.
stables on the outside where you would be able to go out, because east is where you head towards the rest of the world, and west is where you head towards the Wolf's Moor, which is a warring nation, and nobody really needs horses going in that direction. So yeah, they tend to all be on the east. Yeah, it's you're headed west, they are in the east. But it's like if you were to look at the map, it's because that's the side that goes towards the Green Waste. That's the side that has the road that bypasses the city that goes north to south, which is like the main like it's like the M1 basically for anyone from the UK. It's like the main arterial road that goes through the whole place. And of course, then on the right of that is the mountain range of the Red Wall, which is where Ruby knows so well.
So we gotta go back across town.
We could go around town. Do I know how long it'd take us to go back across town? And likely how open it'd be, if that makes sense.
It really depends on how you are hoping to stealth your way across there. Because effective stealth isn't always quick, you know? Wait for people to step, wait for someone to turn, wait for a head to look in a different direction. That's effective stealth. Just running in a direction in the dark is not effective stealth. So, yeah, it really all comes down to how you are all affecting your way across this place. You could go straight, you could loop around, you could go outside of the city and just go all the way around the outside of it. You could fly over, you could try and teleport if you can find a way. You know, there's ways and means. And of course there's like sewers, you could use the sewers if you could find your way into them, if you can find a grate anywhere. You've not seen any so far in this center. So yeah, it's sort of up to you. It's your choice.
I mean, I know I'm forcing your hands a bit, guys, and I'm happy to go with what you're comfortable with to get to where I'm asking.
I think around would be quieter.
I mean, wouldn't I
So
have
go out this way?
wouldn't I have connections that can help?
Looking up and down the street, what's the guard situation?
I'm glad you asked. Give me a perception check.
Perception.
13. Yeah, you feel in your feet like a thumping of the ground. The ground is starting to shake.
There's people coming. Can you feel it, guys? In the ground?
I'm gonna check it. Too.
You're gonna ask the bird if I feel it in the ground.
Well, I'm asking
Well, the
group.
bird is the word, really, isn't it?
I feel it as well.
Yeah, you feel it too.
I think we better try and hide somewhere. At
You
least briefly.
you also see commoners all sort of standing around where these sensor screens you imagine probably were, like talking to each other, and you know, hushed voices of just like, I don't really understand. I don't know what it's all about. Yeah. Anybody else doing perception check?
Sure.
Help us perceive.
Victor, north of you, you see Steve stood with a guard at the corner.
Okay, let's go. Our friends are here.
It doesn't look like they've spotted you yet, but they are stood there talking.
Yeah, I rush everybody out of the gate, or at least around the corner, so they can't see us.
Mm-hmm.
Hurry, hurry, hurry!
I am going to hold you to a real time
just
here.
this
So
way,
if you do take a long time, then I am going to, it will be affected.
Yeah, shall we? Let's just get out of town and we'll go around.
Okay.
So are
Thanks
we
to the
going out
stables.
this way?
I think the guard presence is a little
This
too
way.
much.
So you're heading out of town in the west direction, is that right?
West, south,
Okay.
over, up, I'm thinking.
I
Oh,
mean,
yes,
I
something
can
like
go
that.
up, but
Okay.
Or west, north, over, down. Either way.
Mhm.
You turn.
Okay. You all head out into the sort of outside area of this place. We will just put you into a little forest place. Give me a moment while I get your tokens on there. You'll not see it just yet. My menu is being incredibly slow at the moment. There we go. And who am I missing? Oh, it didn't drag Ruby across for whatever reason. There you go. Or maybe it did and you moved your token immediately. Yeah, so here you are. You're all in like a greenish area on the outside of town. We're just going to do a stealth check to see how well you managed to hide yourself from everybody as you left town. So this is going to be a group stealth check. You all have a +10 to your rolls. So you can enter that in the box, or you can just click it and make me do the math. I'll do it for you then. So we've got a 14, and then a 23, and then another 23, and then a 15. I like how nobody is making this easy for me. Victor, thank you so much, Victor, for actually taking the time out to put 10 on there. The rest of you, go eat some sweaty cheese, you bastards.
I just clicked it before you said it.
4, 5, 13, 13. So the mid-level roll here is a 23. So you managed to stealth pretty good. Victor did get a 39 on this. Really just blasted everybody else out of the water. But unfortunately, in a group check, that doesn't mean anything. So yeah, you all make your way out of town pretty effectively. You're now on the trail. It's up to you whether you go south and round or north and round, as Mars was explaining, or of course a different direction altogether.
So which way?
Would I know which way around town was faster or less kind of hazardous? There's not going to be like a river or something in our way if we go either way.
How much
Or
do
like a
you
cliff
think? How much
face.
does Stee think that Victor goes into the woods on the outside of town?
Well, he's been out and travelled, and I think
Most of those travels have not head you
yeah.
towards Corelva, though.
Yeah.
You've not really headed into the Wolf's Moor before.
I might have.
Ruby has.
Yeah.
How about me?
Is there is the town walled?
Yes.
So I think he's
And the
more
walls are
likely-
like ironclad to sort of keep out Fey folk as well.
Yeah. So I think Victor would likely walk the walls a lot when he's
Okay.
rather than going out into the forest, he would stroll around town to some of the higher up, like quieter points of town.
High walls looking down on a
That makes
tree-laden land is different to walking it on the ground. So I think there would be
Yeah,
some
yeah.
level of disorientation here.
Yeah.
So you won't get this with advantage, nor will you get it with disadvantage. But you can do a either a history check to see if you can remember the route, or give me a survival check to see how well you can navigate the trees here safely.
I think it'll probably be history because he's more trying to remember any like landmarks that might be an inconvenience to traverse.
Yeah?
So it's more like him remembering.
I'm getting quite
essentially.
warm. I'm putting my fan on.
It's an awful roll though. Again.
You're not even sure if you have been here before.
Yeah.
A 6 on a history
Sorry,
check is real. That's real bad.
Would I have had? Would I have known about this?
For me, your character has got this sort of. It's a dichotomy, really, isn't it? Because you're partly a book reading city girl, but then you're also partly a barbarian with more sort of feral nature. So I think that there's an equal chance of you being most of your time in the city or most of your time in the woods. I don't think that if you were going to be reading books a lot, that you would be getting those from the woods. So I think that there would be like an even split for you. If your place to read is more often going to be in a tree or in like a glade, then I can understand that. But it's really up to you what you think that Isabel's history would be.
I think she would probably want to spend her time out the city with a book.
Yeah.
So it would be an even split almost.
I will keep this in mind so that in future rolls we won't be giving you advantage on city checks, because if you're spending most of your time in the woods, then you're not spending most of your time in the city and you won't know much about the city. So
Okay, sorry about that.
So yeah, no problem. But yeah, it's just going to be like we have to balance it somehow, right?
I'll say I'm from the city, but I spend that time out.
Yeah. No, I've no problem with it. It's just that to keep things balanced, because otherwise everyone would just be like, "Huh, I think my character spends all of their time everywhere and knows everything really good." Like,
Spend my time in the
ice
lands.
Could Aldrin do a nature check to see which terrain seems easier to traverse? In what direction?
I would still argue that that's survival. If you can give me a good case for why it's nature, we can go with nature. But I think the actual traversing of nature is more to do with survival. The nature skill itself is more to do with your check of like that particular element of nature, not like how to get past it.
Yeah, it says their ability to recall lore about terrain, plants, and animals, weather, and nature cycles. So I was thinking maybe they had heard along their travels about what the terrain here might be a little bit like, considering it is a warring area and people might be warning about it.
My inclination towards Aldrin is the fact that Aldrin is over 100 years old. That you've probably travelled around at least you've travelled around the nearby swamp, which is right next to Ironfront. So I don't think that you would not necessarily have been here.
Oh, okay. So maybe
so
they've even been here.
You probably have.
Before.
Yeah, I think you probably have been here before. Yeah, I'll go with that. If you wanna do it with a nature check, you can do it with a nature check. It won't be with advantage, but yeah, it'll be a nature check.
I just have a better bonus on nature, which doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You get a nat 1.
What on earth, nat 1?
Would I have traveled through this area on
Everybody's
my way to
asking the
Ironfront?
same question. Would I know about this
No,
place? Would I also know?
Since I'm a bird, I might have better knowledge.
Well, as I said to
nature.
Victor, a bird's eye view of a place is not the same as walking through it. So it's you could fly up and look, but again, it's going to be you're not going to get advantage from that because you're seeing it from a distance and you're not looking at the terrain and dealing with the nature. It's more of a bird's eye view of a place.
A concept of it.
Yeah.
May I
Like-
ask a slightly
Like
different
ecologists ecologists actually have to go out in the field to figure out what the hell it is. They can't just look at satellite views of a place and know exactly what the terrain is like. You know what I mean? So it's not as simple as just look at it. No,
Yeah.
it's more about knowledge of nature, knowledge of surroundings, feel
Yeah.
of the place. It's not just eyesight. It's the smell. It's the hearing. It's the feel. It's a lot of different sensory inputs that form that view of the place. So that's my argument for why just looking at it from a bird's eye view is not going to help.
Well, Aldrin thinks
so-
that the trees are pretty.
Ash potentially might have been here, but I thought that your background was more of Ash is a closeted person who's never really left the forest that much. Am I wrong in
I
that?
meant on my way into the city.
Ah, as you entered the city. Well, you
Yes.
entered it from the north, which was on the east side of town, heading
So
in
that
towards
is
the
a no.
city centre. So no, you would not have been here. No.
Okay,
Could I make-
that's all I was asking.
Okay, sorry. I thought that you were saying like, have you been here before, like in your travels in your past and
No,
flying
no, no.
over
I meant
it? Does
on my
that
way
blah blah blah?
into the
Yeah.
city initially.
Okay, all right. Then I went off on a tangent that I didn't need to go on. You could equally give me a nature or stealth, not stealth, nature or survival check for this. Either way, I'm happy. As Mars has argued the toss. A dirty 20 is pretty good. I will say that with a dirty 20, you think that the terrain isn't going to be the problem here. It's going to be where the guard posts are. That there are guard posts that are on borders and there are guard posts that are on city walls. And knowing that, you would know that there are going to be people who very soon will be manning those posts on the lookout for certain people. And it will be certain people that they might be seeing. So realistically, it's less about the terrain and it's more about cover from trees. Like where can you
So I think
like
we should
evenly
just
stealth? I think that on the
get outta
south
here.
side, you would know that on the south edge there is more overgrowth to hide in. It will slow your progress, as opposed to the open ground to the north. But the open ground to the north, you'll make it quicker, but you're more likely to get spotted. The south, you'll make it slower, like it's difficult terrain because of the briars and brambles. But sorry to take your name in vain there, Katie. But you're less likely to get spotted because you'll be hidden by all of the brush.
Okay, I think we should go south because I feel like there's more coverage. It's going to be slower, but it's going to be safer in a way from the
Go.
guard.
I'm down for that.
Let's go.
Sounds like a plan.
Nice.
My axe hasn't met a branch that it can't knock out the way if needed.
Mhm.
Hey, let's not hurt the trees unless we
I
have
said
to.
if needed. It's okay. I'm not going to do it for the fun.
I'm gonna do it for fun. It's okay. It's alright. Okay. Right. Cool. So, let me just see. You and your companions. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you has a +10 bonus, and it lasts for an hour. So Pass Without Trace will last for an hour. I would say that you could probably leave a city and skirt its surroundings in an hour, but then at the point that you get to the eastern side, where the horses are in the stables, I would say that that's probably going to be the end of that hour. So you'll get your stealth bonus of +10 to each of you all the way across this, but you're going to be going slow, so it's going to be slow going, which is why it's going to take an hour. You come across the first set of brambles. You see that there are thick, knotted brambles. They are sharp, jagged, and very green, like unbearably green. There are trees above them with a canopy that sort of hides from the city guards, and you hear a conversation of some guards that are up on the top of these ironclad walls. This side of town, they don't really do much guarding. You get a sense that they're just sort of there for other purposes. So everybody give me a stealth check, and this will be the first of 3 group stealth checks. This is why I'm saying that it's going slower. That means that you have to do more stealth checks. Please add the 10 in the bonus box. Thank you. Thank you. You do me a great service.
I figured it out.
It's just a box.
I
and you
also
type
figured
10
it out.
in
Took me a while.
It's literally a box that you type 10 in. Wow, Isabel gets a
one.
nat 1. Still gets a
Well, at
12
least
with
I got
that,
a 10
though.
though.
Yeah, you still got a 12. So that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, and then we're missing Briar. Give me that stealth
Well,
check
I just
with a
learned
plus
how
10.
to do that plus 10, so that's good.
Yeah, man. Nice. Okay. You get a group check of 22. So a group stealth check of 22. I'm just going to bring up some guard stats and we're going to roll 2 perception checks for the guards. Both at disadvantage because they are looking through all of this bullshit. They are here to guard, but they're not doing a particularly effective job of it. I also am struggling to find guard. Where is guard? Hello, guard. There you are. I'm just going to put a guard token down here so that I've got them to reference. Okay, so they're going to do perception with disadvantage and perception with disadvantage. Okie doke. Next, stealth check. Everyone give me another stealth check each with a plus 10. $22, not bad. 20, not bad. Okay. So mid-level at the moment is 26. Okay, 23 now. We just need that one that we're missing. Aldrin, 30. So yeah, we get a 26. So
I got 32. Wow.
yeah. You managed to even beat Victor, who has a higher bonus on so many levels. Sorry to call you out about that, Victor, but you only rolled a 3 and a 6. That's pretty
That's okay.
yeah, that's a roll. With a plus 20, you managed to get out of that, through the skin of your teeth, but that's pretty good. You get the 23 on the group check, or is it? No, it was a 26 on the group check. So we're going to roll for the guards. This time on this section of it, you have gone through some more densely wooded area. There's not so much bramble as there is thick a tree. Like the whole ground is sort of lifted and twisted under all of the roots that seem to come out of the ground here from the intense rains that happen here a lot. This time as well, you know that the guards, there was a commanding sounding voice that goes to the top of the walls and yells to the other guards along the wall that we are looking for people of a certain description, and he brings up images of the descriptions. So they are now no longer rolling with disadvantage, they are now rolling flat. They do have proficiency in perception. And they've rolled. Okay. You now get to your third and final stealth check. This is going to be where the hour runs out. And it's going to be where you will need to roll fairly high, I would say. Everybody give me your stealth checks once more. With the plus 10 if you may. If you wouldn't mind. Okay. 25 is the middle. Oh, and 18's brought it down a bit. But 18, 21, 25, 29. That's the middle. 29 is the middle. These guys now find that you find that they are starting to use like an early version of some kind of binocular. Like it's got lenses. It's not exactly like the ones that we have today. It's not that strength. It's not really anything even close to it. But it just sharpens focus a little bit better for somebody who might need glasses but doesn't realize that glasses are a thing to be invented yet. So one of them will do it with advantage because he's got the binoculars. The other one's just going to roll it flat. You get out to the far end of the trees and brambles. You manage to get your way up towards the stable, and you all feel that you are a little bit more visible now than you were beforehand. You do see that the stables are there, but Tats and Ash, you feel that your spell has now ended.
I mean, I could just cast it again because I also have it and I readied it from my last long rest.
You do. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have, what do you call it? It wouldn't have mattered anyway, because even with advantage, they got 14 at the highest, so it wouldn't make any difference.
Okay.
But
Still
yeah, we could have
unresolved
solved that. Yeah, we could have resolved that afterwards.
That's
as well.
cool.
Plus,
just
with
cast
it
it
being a group check, I wouldn't want to have to deal with the disparate change between rolling and then like rolling at disadvantage and then rolling with advantage and then because like you already get the advantage of rolling for stealth, but which helps the group. But it's hard for me to get anybody to roll against you with disadvantage, but the whole group with a flat roll. That's
Yeah,
almost
that's cool.
impossible. So.
Okay.
That would probably be an impossible task for me. But yeah, you cast it again. You all feel that you're a little bit more part of the darkness again. Leopold is sort of looking at his hands and like, I'm really struggling to even see myself. This is crazy.
We gotta be sneaky. This is the only way I know how.
Oh, sneaky beaky. Sorry, I didn't mean anything by that.
No offense taken.
You all see that there are horses, that there are 2 stable workers who are busy talking to each other near the opening of the stable, but the doors are open. There are 3 horses inside. One of them has already been put all of its tack and saddle on, ready for somebody to come and collect it. The other 2 are unsaddled.
Is there a horse and cart?
Not at this part of the stables, no. This is a stable for, like, horses only. The horse and cart tend to be personally owned or owned by businesses. There's not really, like, a taxi service to speak of,
So
Like you
there
knew
are 7
old
of us
Tom.
total, right?
Yeah.
I'll turn to Ash. Ash, how quickly can you fly? Could you keep up with a horse?
DM, can I keep up with a horse? My fly speed says 50.
Give me a moment.
Okay, because my fly speed is 50.
A riding horse has a speed of 60.
Just about.
Okay. That's an option. I know it's gonna be harder work for you, but 2 per horse and then Ash flying?
What about the
It's
other?
not correct maths.
There's
That's
7 of
right,
us.
isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
that
what I
is
mean.
correct maths. If it's 2 per horse,
Yeah,
there's
so
3
2 per
horses
horse.
and 1 person
That's
flying, then that's 7
Oh.
people.
Oh, I thought it was only 2 horses. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
no, there
same.
was
I thought
3.
it was
only
There's,
two.
so there's 2 that are unsaddled, and there's 1 that is saddled.
Okay, well, does anybody have a disguise I can wear? Because, like, if I fly above, and I look like me, they might shoot me down.
You
I
would
could
shoot
give you a hat, but you'd never get rid of it.
I
But you can't.
take off
I like
my
your hat.
coat and
I like my hat too.
my scarf.
Yep.
And hand them to Ash.
All right.
I have like a
I'm
long
gonna-
green coat and then like a kind of neck
Hold on.
scarf that I use to cover my face basically
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time. So
I'm gonna
hand
wrap the
both of those to
scarf
Ash.
kind of like around my beak and top feathers just so that my eyes are visible.
I wouldn't
And I
say
put
that a
the coat on.
long coat would be very good for flight unless you wore it backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise your wings aren't going to come out from your back.
Okay.
I don't want to destroy your coat.
That's
Yeah, just
okay.
just take it
I'll-
and immediately cut holes in it.
I'll take my waistcoat off and hand my waistcoat over and put my coat back on.
That works.
Does
yeah,
this
waistcoat
help?
works. Yeah, that works.
That's a little
Question.
better.
Alright.
Can I get a reminder on if/what the illusionist bracers do?
Once you use a cantrip, you can, as an action, you can then recast it as a bonus action in the same turn without having to modify the spell.
Right, thank you. It just doesn't say it on there.
Oh, does it not? I thought I put a description in there.
None of my items really have much of a description. Some of them do. That one doesn't.
Where is it? Illusionist
I mean, I
braces.
could always just wild shape.
Oh yeah.
Yes, if
Nobody
that's an
can ride
option.
my back. I am not going to turn into a horse. Nobody can ride on me. Don't know if I can handle that.
I mean, even something that would fly
There
faster
it
or
is.
run the same.
Oh, there you go.
Perhaps
I've typed the
a
thing in
large
there for you.
cat.
Thank you.
No, it says no flying or swimming speed.
I think what I did was I put it as a chat
And-
message so that it shows up in chat, but it doesn't show you up when you're
Yeah.
looking at it. So it's now on
Oh.
both.
Thank you.
Oh, I know what I can do.
Yeah, no problem.
Turn into something small.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can like wild shape into like a mouse or something and ride on the horse with you all.
You all
Oh,
hear
there we
you hear an entourage starting to walk up towards the stable from the iron front walls.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't care that I am a tabaxi. I am not the person in that image. Will you let me get to my horse, please? Just stop handling me. Stop manhandling me. I do not consent to this. Let go of me. That is my horse. These are my friends. We are leaving now. You see one of the stable hands gets really like, oh shit, we've completely forgotten to saddle up the other two horses. Oh, sorry, give me a moment. I'm just going to saddle up the horses. Oh, well, it looks like your horses aren't saddled up after all. You can afford to stay here and talk to us a little longer. Fine, but must we talk about that subject? Are you going to hold me here just for what I look like? This is crazy. The landscape has changed. You might need to change your approach because you've taken so long to plan this out.
I am now a
Maybe-
mouse and I just climb up on Victor's shoulders.
We should just go, right? Do we need saddles? Should we just leave?
Should I make them sleep?
Should we melt?
Make them sleep.
Hmm.
Make them sleep, Aldrin. Make them sleep.
Until
Sleep.
I start throwing a saddle on a horse.
Ruby will join you with the other horse and do the same.
One of the stable hands is in there putting the saddles on the horse now.
Oh, I'll just wait until he's gone then.
Yeah, you're legit like to give you sort of an idea of distance. There's a guy about 50 feet away from you who is a tabaxi who's wearing relatively good-looking adventuring gear. There are two guards who are trying to hold on to him, and there's two friends of his that are alongside of him. You see that there are two stable hands directly in front of you who are in like I don't know, like a 60 by 40 foot stable that's got multiple stable entrances and openings, but only 3 horses inside. The area is quite an open plan thing with not very many walls to speak of. They're more sort of like wooden braces that just stop the horses from bolting against them.
As soon as the horses are saddled, Aldrin's gonna cast sleep on the guys over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to sneak up behind them if that doesn't work and essentially
Totally lost.
to knock them out.
Which of you has walked?
Non-lethally knock them out if I...
Oh.
If
One
I
of you's
may.
walked away. Where have you disappeared to?
I'm
One
hidden
of the
behind
characters has
Victor.
disappeared. For the love of God, why do you keep standing
I'm
on
a
top of
mouse.
each other?
Because I'm a mouse and I was on his shoulder.
Oh, for God's sake! I really get panicked when I see a token disappeared. For God's sake, leave it be, leave it be.
Bad kitty.
For God's sake, a cat chasing a mouse on an orc's shoulders. It's not okay.
Do you want damage?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, I pressed-
30
30.
spread between 2 commoners is going to do it. But I would also hasten to add that the moment that they finish these saddles, you know that the guards are going to have to let this guy go. So you're going to be stealthing against
Oh,
3
I was
people
hoping
watching.
to hit them as well.
That you are not going to be able to beat them. This is an adventurer.
Oh, okay.
He's like
Gotcha.
the equivalent of another person with a class. So his
Totally
HP
fair.
is high as well.
Gotcha.
Can we bar the
Oh,
door?
oh,
They are
oh,
also
hang on.
too
Hang
far
on.
away.
I've
Go on.
I'd also...
DM.
Yeah, yeah.
I've just remembered that I have awakened mind, and I can
Mm-hmm.
telepathically speak to any creature I can see within 30 feet.
Okay. Well,
think.
the tabaxi is
If
50
it
feet away, as I
I
explained.
think. Well, it says telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet
Mhm.
if it understands at least one language. I'm
Mhm.
assuming that doesn't count the horses, right?
Oh, let
Think we'll
me
speak
pick up the thing. I think that
horse.
they understand Sylvan, but I need to just double check on that.
Cool.
No, they don't. They don't.
Okay, so I can't speak to the horses. I was trying to see if I could speak
No.
to them and make them bolt. Am
They are
I within
beasts.
30?
Speak with
Can I
animals
speak
is
to
the
the-
kind of thing that can do that.
Yeah. Can I speak to the guards though?
They are 50 feet away. They're with the tabaxi. They're 50 feet away. If you want to talk to them, you're
Are
gonna have
you-
to get closer. Also,
Can I
if
stealth
Were you saying
closer?
any of that out loud?
you can stealth closer,
No, this was a question to the DM.
you could stealth
Okay,
closer.
'cause-
Just talking about the mechanics of it. Yeah, that's fine. But you would need to get 20 feet closer, which is going to require a stealth
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah, I'll do a stealth roll. Does anyone want to help me?
I would ask,
To speak
how
to-
do they help you with this? To help you stealth on your own.
I will
Can
whisper
I rabbit
I
pig?
ca-
to. I will
casted-
whisper to the group. Oh yeah, you cast thingy, didn't
I ca-
you, Ash?
I
Yeah,
spelled trace it
you get a
again,
plus
so you
10
have
for
the bonus.
that, but
Okay.
you're
I won't
asking for a
ask
help
the help
action.
action then.
Yeah, that's a different thing. You would get
Yeah.
advantage plus 10 in that case, but that's you know different.
Yeah, I'll
thing.
just do a flat roll. I'll just do a
Fine,
flat roll with the
fine.
plus 10, I guess.
I'm guessing you don't have
33 is pretty stealthy. 33 is pretty stealthy. I think the rest of the group,
So-
the rest of you lose track of where Ruby is exactly. The thing is, tigers, they are very bright orange, but they are also camouflaged to hide in grass, which is crazy because grass is not orange. No grass that I've ever seen anyway. And the fact is that when Ruby disappears into the grass, you literally have no idea where the fuck she has gone. And nor do these guys. So you get just to within 30 feet of these guards. What do you say to them?
My best weird voice.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to telepathically say to these guards, "It is not the tabaxi you're looking for. I think you need to go somewhere else. Go north. I think you should go north."
Give me a deception check.
Okay, thank you.
Did you speak to a singular creature, or was it both of them?
Let me check what it says.
I think it would
It
only be
said
one.
Any creature. I'm
So it
assuming
would
that's
be
targeting
one, then.
one.
Yeah.
I'll
it would be
target
one.
one of the guards, yeah.
Okay. So they're going to roll insight. One of the guards continues to talk to the tabaxi. The other one looks around. Looks a little bit concerned.
I'll repeat. I'm like, "You need to go north. This is the wrong tabaxi. I'm telling you, go north. You know you're right."
Did you hear that? Yeah, what? That? What? What's that? That thing that just talked. Talked. Something's talking to you. You're hearing voices. Oh, well, yeah, but did you hear it? I don't know that I'm hearing voices. I just want to know if you heard the voice. It's not the same thing to hear a voice if there's actually someone talking, is there? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, listen. If I'm hearing voice and then Tabaxi gets completely... he just takes this as his opportunity to turn around and walk away towards the horses. But the guy that's there, the guard, is like, listen, I heard a voice that told me that it wasn't the tabaxi that we were looking for. We needed to go north. That's very convenient. Do you not think that maybe one of his friends might have said that into your mind? Well, I don't think so, no. It sounded like it was an honest voice. Sounded a bit weird. Sounded like a really weird voice, I must say. Like, almost like the voices in my mind were desperately trying to sound really weird. But I don't think that they would do that. So I kind of think like it's just, I don't know, maybe it's my conscience. Maybe I'm like a chosen one, and I get information from beyond the realms, you know? Maybe a god is talking to me. Maybe I'm chosen. Do you know what? I've never wanted to be a god. I've always wanted to try my hand at being a paladin. I think I'm going to go into the cloth. Yeah. Listen, you have always been a drudge. I've never liked you. You've always been a drudgeon about here. I'm handing in my armor. He gets completely naked. Takes him an hour because taking heavy armor off takes an hour to doff and don. And the guy just stood there like, you see the beginnings of it where he's starting to unclasp his thing, where he's trying to make this big elaborate point, but in actual fact it's going to take him an hour to make that point. As that happens, the tabaxi starts to walk towards the horses as all of this is happening. What do the rest of you do? And what does Ruby do?
If, as soon as this distraction's happening and the horses are saddled, so I'm
they
just
are
going to
saddled, and the two stable hands are asleep.
Yeah, so because of all that, even though the tabaxi's on the way, I'm just going to... I guess no one can see me, so I'm just going to pop up and just gesture wildly at everyone to come here. Or I'm just going to get on a horse and make it very clear what's happening.
Okay, if you stand up and gesture wildly at everybody, then the tabaxi is definitely going to see you. There's no stealth roll in that. You can't stealthily stand up and wave wildly. That's not something that we're going to be rolling for.
I won't do that. Sorry, I'm forgetting how
there are 3 people still here and 2 guards.
Okay.
So yeah.
No, I hadn't thought that through. I will take the reins of the horses and lead them outwards to try and quickly get people to come on. I'll do that.
So give me a stealth check to get over. Give me a stealth check to get over to the stables then.
Okay, no problem. Sorry, I kind of forgot where I was. Bear with.
Yeah, you're sort of out in the open, basically, on a road towards these guys, not in perfect cover. So 26 is still very good. You managed to cross in front of this guy without him really seeing you. Nobody else in the party sees you either. Everybody's passive perceptions are not really working for this. Now it's up to you how you get their attention without getting the tabaxi aware of it all.
Am I within 30 feet of my friends?
Yes.
Of all people, I'm going to choose Aldrin, and I'm going to speak straight into Aldrin's mind and just say, Aldrin, I've got the horses. I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to bring them over, but you've got to get ready.
Everybody get ready. Ruby's bringing the horses.
The tabaxi is talking to his friends and is quite distracted from everything that's going on around him because he's so just incensed by these guards trying to stop him in his day and how incredibly speciesist that they are being. Like, I'm a tabaxi. Do all tabaxi, like, are they just stopping everybody? Like, that was clearly someone who looked nothing like me. They had this different coloration, different stripes, all of this. And he goes on and rants about it. So him and his party, they're gonna do a group perception check, and they're all rolling at disadvantage. So you're gonna get 3 disadvantaged rolls, and we're gonna see which of them is the one that comes out on top. I'm gonna give them noble stats, and a noble does not have proficiency in perception. So, first one, disadvantage. Second one, disadvantage. Third one, disadvantage. Okay, so I've got my rolls. Now I need to know what the other 5 of you are going to be doing with your stealth rolls. So give me 5 stealth checks. That's everybody but Ruby. You're still adding your plus 10. And Victor is still getting the advantage. Well, I'd say that you would get advantage as a mouse. So you could roll that with advantage then, Ash?
I mean, they're inside my cloak, kind of.
Dang it, I misclicked.
If they're inside your
misclicked.
cloak, we can argue that they've got full cover. You didn't have the 10. Okay. Well, we're discounting yours anyway. So 14, 21, and 35. And then who am I missing?
Good still.
There's one person I'm missing. Briar. 26. Okay. So that is 26 is the average. Okay. Great. So you all manage to quietly head over towards the horses. You get yourselves onto each part of them. Ash, of course, is not going to be flying. But at this point in time, I want to say that when you wild shape, you don't have the appearance of clothes anymore. But I really love the idea of a mouse with a tiny waistcoat. So
Yes.
we're just going to argue that you have a tiny waistcoat this time. Because I think that that looks cute as fuck. So Ash becomes a mouse with a tiny waistcoat. Victor doesn't have the waistcoat anymore, but does have the long coat and then the cloak of elven kind over the top of it. So Victor is starting to look like a very different kind of person. Victor's almost looking a bit like an edgelord from the 90s. He looked like a Neo wannabe. So yeah, Victor in full Neo garb, Ash in looking like a very dapper mouse, and everybody else split between horses. You all climb aboard. Where are you going? Decide quick, or I'm gonna make them check again.
Yeah.
West, because
Ruby,
that's
Ruby,
where the
Ruby.
red mountains are. So I'm just going to take us
No,
west.
east
Or
is where
Ruby's
the red
gonna
mountains are.
East.
All right, we're going to go
East is
east.
where they are.
That's where we're going.
East.
Yeah.
East.
You just spent
We're
all that
going
time
west.
coming from the west to then go back to the west
Hey.
with horses. You could have just made Ash turn into a horse. That would have been so much easier. Okay, so you head east up the mountain pass, is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
So as you ride away, I don't think that you can really hide particularly in the open. Not with 3 horses that are charging away. These guys don't see that you have left the stable, and you do hear behind them this noble going, "Asleep on the job! This whole city is ridiculous. The guards are just against me because I'm Tabaxi, because apparently my heritage is not good enough for them. And the people who are supposed to have my horses here, and by the way, horses disappeared. I am going to go to the mayor and I'm going to complain about this." So he's completely just like over the top, completely taking things the wrong way, completely being a little bit, extra. But I think in some manners, he might be rightly, against all of this because he's being discriminated against just because he's a Tabaxi. He heads back over to the guards. He heads back over to the guards, and he looks incredibly uncomfortable immediately because one of the guards is stripping naked, and taking a very long time about doing it. He's about 5 minutes into this at this point, and he's like still unbuckling the first part of his armor. And yeah, that all happens. Those 2 guards are distracted. We're gonna check for the 2 guards who are on the walls further away from you. There's just gonna be 2 checks. We're gonna see whether they can spot 3 people riding away on horses. Well, 3 groups of people, 3 pairs of people riding away on horses. Okay. And we're going to go off your last stealth check, which you don't hear horns blaring and you don't hear the charge of cavalry behind you. Seems like you have managed to get away from Ironfront successfully. Congratulations. Now, you have a mountain ahead of you. You've got a forest to the left. You've got a swamp to the right that you need to get through before you even hit the mountain. This is not going to be over in a day. It's not going to be over in a session. It's not even going to be over next session. You have a whole area to traverse. Even on horseback, you're still only going an extra 20 feet per round than you would have normally. So this is not going to be an incredibly speedy affair. What are your priorities? What are you looking for? Is there anything in particular that you're trying to hide from? Are you looking for food now that your sweaty cheese has been given to a now very unwell rat? What's happening?
keeping an eye out for anything that's food along the way, especially anything that could be dried.
Okay.
On during travels.
Give me a survival check.
Also trying to keep an eye out for like the holy manses, because I'm sure there's more than one, and anybody who might want to hurt us.
Aldrin, you managed to get a bunch of berries. No problems there.
Can I possibly hunt along the way?
Can you what? Sorry,
Hunt along the way.
Yeah. Give me a. We'll say a survival check. You find something small. It's enough to fill one person's belly. It's not really something enough to fill the belly of 7 people.
Yeah, I tried.
Ash, you would be able to do that, but you would have to do it with the stat block of a mouse.
Oh, okay, what's the stat block of a mouse?
Can you smell anything?
I don't know. Let me just roll a 5
Smelling
and 20
for
and
enemies?
find out.
I'm bringing it up because it's not in my thing.
I mean, it's a 19, so I
Flat
just rolled a
is
flat
19.
D20.
Yeah, you have advantage on things that rely smell. So if you're sniffing out people around you, then you get advantage. Otherwise, it's just a flat d20.
Oh, okay. What would you have me roll then in that case?
What is it in
Smelling.
particular that you're looking for again?
I'm smelling for anybody who, like, the holy man and stuff like that, or people that are not our people.
Uh-huh. Okay. Can you describe for me now, Tats, can you describe for me now what the holy man smelled like?
Blood, death.
I'll give you
decay.
that. I'll give you that. You can roll another flat d20, and we'll take the higher of the two. And not one.
Well,
okay, great. Okay, so... You do smell something on your tail.
Oh no, what's on my tail?
And I don't mean that literally like the mouse's tail. I mean like
okay.
something following you.
I don't know if I can speak while I'm in wild shape.
No, you can't.
If you give me 10
Alright,
minutes,
well-
I can.
Yeah. Rituals
I'm gonna
casting of speak
squeak.
with animals, yeah.
I can.
I'm gonna squeak wildly until I can be understood.
Okay, I'm going to just ride along and do my ritual real quick.
Okay.
Hold on.
I think you need to
Trying get
stop
there.
for 10 minutes, to be honest, to perform a ritual.
Guys,
I don't think you can really do it. I don't think while you're holding on to somebody on horseback, racing away from the scene of a crime, I'm not sure that you could perform a ritual for 10 minutes while concentrating on magic.
Would
You'd have to stop for 10
comprehend
minutes.
languages let me speak to a mouse?
No, mice don't have language to speak. It's like you cast speak
Worth
with
a
animals
shot.
specifically so that you can figure out how to talk to a creature that has no languages. That's why it's used.
So am I using that 10 minutes to get speak with
You have
animals?
multiple wild shapes in a day. You could just drop wild shapes, say what you need to say, and then go back into it.
Yeah, but I don't want to like hurt the horse.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Wait, does the
Did you
horse
say-
have reins on?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to the reins and put my tiny little mouse paw on it. My mouse foot on it.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm gonna transform back into myself and like grasp the reins so that way I'm just like a kite holding on.
Oh, you're flying. So you're transitioning and flying at the same time.
Yeah, but more like I'm just kind of holding on to the reins and being a kite.
So you're
So
spreading
kind
your
of
wings and
gliding.
trying to be a parachute.
Well, yeah, so more like a kite because I'm holding on and I'm using the speed from the wind that the
Also,
horse is
like,
generating to kind of like
what-
stay aloft, but not put any weight on the horse.
That's not going to be something that you can just do. You'll have to roll for it.
Okay,
Like-
I'll roll for it.
Okay.
if it fails, I'll do speak with animals.
What does it roll? Or what
Again,
do
you
I
would need
roll?
to stop for 10 minutes to be able to do that. Because you're doing it as a ritual cast, which takes 10 minutes to cast it.
Okay.
If it was a spell slot, it would happen immediately. Okay,
I don't have
so
spell slots.
if you what we had in my first campaign, the druid took a feat that allowed them to speak telepathically with people, so that they could relay messages to other people. But they gamed it so hard that they were like, well, I would just take the message backwards and forwards with the one-to-one message that I'm allowed, and just tell everybody in the party, one by one, everything that everybody else is saying, so that everybody can talk together. And I'm like, okay, no, that's metagaming to the extreme. You can't do that.
That
You
would
talk
be
to one person and that's it.
obnoxious.
Yeah, I was like, you talk to one person back and forth, that is it. We're not gonna do that, because otherwise you'll spend all day talking about shit and never actually getting anywhere. And that was already a problem in that group. So yeah, we ended up just saying no to
That
that.
would be so
Well, I had
confusing.
a telepathy where I could speak to just like they couldn't respond. I could speak to them.
Yeah, so you could deliver a one-way message basically. But yeah, telepathy is always a thing. So to see whether you could do this, I think being a bird, you would be more proficient with your wings than not. So let's see what your proficiencies are. You have taken all cerebral things and no proficiency in anything physical. So this is going to be an acrobatics check.
With disadvantage or just straight acrobatics?
Just straight. I think I've got a hair stuck in my gum and it's really fucking annoying me. 11. So with an 11, you do turn back into bird form, but your body changes before your wings come out. And you end up pressing down too hard on the horse's head and it stumbles to the floor and rolls.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
You then are just stood there holding on to this fallen horse's reins with your wings outstretched. And the two people who were on the horse with you have fallen off. So that would be Victor and whoever else was on the horse with Victor. Who would have been on the
I
horse
don't think
with
we
Victor?
said.
No, you didn't.
So
And I'm
guess-
pretty sure Ruby and Leopold are going to be together. So
Ruby and Leopold are definitely together. Yeah, I can understand that. Ash
Okay,
was a mouse in Victor's pack, so that would have been that.
Ooh,
Briar, perhaps, as the other two seem next to each other currently.
Does that sound like something you would have done, Brian?
Because Isabel and Aldrin are already like stood next to each other, so it makes sense. The
Yeah,
spare
I'm
person would
Sorry,
be-
I missed the last minute or so. What's
Okay.
going on? I had a
Who was on the horse with Victor and Ash?
I made the horse tumble.
Horse has rolled.
the horse.
As Giddy
You're asking
says,
about
as Giddy
horse.
says in chat, bird on horse violence, the humanity. Absolutely.
Well, I have
Didn't mean to.
I have proficiency in animal handling, so I don't mind doing the
Also,
riding
welcome
and
into chat
doing
there,
steering.
Giddy. I did spot you the moment you arrived.
But Briar, were you riding with Victor or were you riding with either Aldrin or Isabel? Because I was a mouse, and then I crawled out, grabbed a hold of the reins, and turned back into bird form so I could kind of be a kite. And I didn't do it right, and the horse tumbled. So we need to know whose horse you were on.
on Victor's.
Okay. So Briar and Victor drop to the ground. The rest of the horses continue on for a pace before you can get to a stop. A horse falling and smashing its face into the ground stops a lot quicker than one that wants to. So yeah, you have this split between your party. Ash is now in Aarakocra form, however, and is able to now speak. So
There's something following us, and I am so sorry for this horse. Let me heal it.
we won't go through the the HP that was lost for the horse because I don't think that that's really worth it. But I will ask for you to use a spell slot to heal it, and it will say that it's
Okay,
at full health. I don't want to be responsible for killing horses.
I'm gonna use it from the ring.
Okay. Riding horses only have 13 HP. So, you know, for context. So if I started giving it 2d6 damage, it might, like, nearly die. So, yeah. We won't do that. But yeah, you give this thing some healing. It gets back up to full, we can argue. We don't need to roll all of that. But yeah, the horse is better. Victor and Briar, you suffer a couple of scrapes each. Again, we won't go through the pain of having to roll for that. But now Ash has stopped with Victor and Briar. The rest of you are sort of speeding on ahead for a pace. You'll need to turn around and come back if you want to talk. Or do you want to continue on?
The party's
I'm quite-
falling behind. Literally falling.
I'll turn back to and fight and get them.
Let's get them.
Ruby and Leopold? It's really just Ruby's choice here.
Yeah. We've slowed. But
If
keeping
you haven't
an
been
eye out
following
in
Giddy
truth,
yet, you need
because
to. Giddy
without
is sick.
knowing why
Giddy
that's happened,
is
it
a
may have like
force of
raised
nature and
Ruby's
is chaotic as fuck. You should always follow Giddy.
nerves of whether like a bow and arrow or something like that has caught them.
Okay, so there is something following us. I don't know what it is, but it's literally on our tail. And it doesn't smell very good.
Oh, so we gotta
So
move.
yeah, well, I mean, I didn't mean to
Is
like
the
make
horse
the horse fall.
okay?
Yeah, the horse is okay
Can
now. I
you
healed it
turn
up.
into a horse?
I don't know. I'm sure I could.
Depends what its challenge rating is, basically. Those are
Would
your
that be
limitations. Those are your limitations as a... It has a challenge rating of 1/4, so you should be able to. And it's
Would
an
that
animal that
be
you've seen
faster?
before, and it's a beast, so yes, you would be able to turn into a riding horse.
I mean, yeah, it would be faster, but I can't talk to you
Oh, true.
if I'm in horse form
As
or any
we're
animal form.
coming up to a swamp, would it be better to go on foot anyway?
That's
Well,
a
I'm
fair
just-
point.
We need to keep an eye behind us because I know something's following us.
Well, we need to move now then. So what
Can
are
I
we
do a-
gonna do?
Can I just quickly do a perception check on that since
Yeah.
Ash is raised that something's following us?
I think I would also. I'll help Ruby, I guess, rather than both of us roll.
Okay.
Fine.
So
Yeah.
roll with advantage. 18. You don't... What? Okay. You don't see something on your trail. You don't see a... you don't see, like, a cloud of dust from another group of things coming after you. You don't see anything flying in the air. You don't see creatures around you. What you do see is a handprint on Isabel's shoulder, glowing.
What? Who touched me?
Isabel, how do you
Uh,
feel?
Are
I
you
think I feel
okay?
fine. I feel fine. I don't know what this is about.
You're kind of glowing at this bit.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know what's going on.
Isabel, give me a history check.
Hold on. That's handy.
You remember a dream that you had. Not of the stranger, not of home, not of nice things, but of the holy man, stood in an
Oh.
arid expanse.
Oh, yeah, no, I
And
remember.
at the end of that dream, as you woke, it grabbed you on the shoulder. This shoulder.
Oh, no, my nightmare came true.
What was the nightmare, Isabel?
That it was a while ago now, but it was about the holy man. And I felt something grab me when I woke up.
Was
Did
it
he
the
do
holy man who
anything?
grabbed you?
What happened in the dream?
I was in the middle of nowhere, and well, he was just there. It's a nightmare. I think you can, with Holy Mare plus Nightmare. I think you can figure out what I was dreaming about.
Well, should we have this conversation while moving that? Because if it's the
Yeah.
holy man following us, I'd rather not be tangled with him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So how are we traveling forward? We're still on horse, but we're going into swamp.
Would can I try to dispel magic on the handprint?
You can try it, yeah. Okay. What do you need to do for dispel magic to work?
I'll take off my jacket so
Alright.
it's even easier. Woo.
Hold on, I'm getting back to it. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. At higher spells, which I don't have 4th level or higher. So it's instantaneous and it just ends a spell if it's 3rd level or lower.
Give me
I can do an
one
ability
moment.
check if it's a higher spell, though. Said for each
So it's
spell
within
of
range
4th
of
level.
120 feet. Okay. So it's not something that you have to touch, is what I wanted to check.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I didn't want a tattoo like this.
I
Could
think
we do an Arcana check?
You can do an Arcana check if you want.
Good. Let me click it. There we go. All right.
Aldrin gets a 15 on an Arcana check. How do you examine this, Aldrin? Handprint.
Considering we're on a horse together, I've got a pretty close-up view. Um, so we're taking
What are
a
you
look
doing
I'm
then? That's
at
the
right
it.
the
thing. What are you
shoulders in
doing?
your face.
Is it
Yeah.
something that you examine with tools, with salves, with hands? How do you go about it as Aldrin?
Aldrin would probably pull out some of their alchemist supplies, the little scrapes, you
Mhm.
know, and try and see, does this come off at all? Is this something that's glowing on top like a lichen? Like
Mhm.
what's making this glow, or is this like really coming from what they're wearing or their person?
You see that there is like a slowly pulsating light that's coming from underneath the skin. There's no real damage to the skin itself, but this light is getting brighter. But it's a weird kind of a light. It glows, but it's not white, it's not red, it's not orange, it's no color that you've known. This glows, but it glows dark. And it sort of like, it looks like it's glowing, but it's glowing black. Underneath
God.
clothing, you would not have noticed it, really. And it's not glowed up to this point that you are aware of.
So like a black light glow type thing?
Not like UV, no. Not like it's glowing bright blue, no. It's more like
I-
it's
I meant-
glowing actually black, yeah.
Okay. Well, I meant just like the light itself. Like
Yeah.
not the light it casts.
It's just that I'm aware that there is a term black light, and I don't want that to be mistaken with this. That's all.
Gotcha.
so.
Yeah,
See where the germs are.
So I
yeah, yeah.
wonder,
Hotel
I
rooms.
wonder if this is something like Victor's dagger, where it glowed near stuff, because it hasn't glowed before, right? But you said you had that dream, so maybe it's been there since that dream, but we haven't known because we haven't been in range, which is concerning, and we should move.
Yes, perhaps you
Hmm.
were
Let's.
marked in your dream.
If I'm marked, then that means I'm putting you all in danger.
Anybody who
Then,
wants to may give me a perception check or an insight check. You may do one or the other.
Same. Either way. Garbage.
I did insect and insight.
You did a bug.
Yeah.
A bug! Not a bug! Okay. Victor and Aldrin have no clue what's going on. Briar, you're able to see that, the area around you is settled somewhat. Isabel the same. I think Isabel's probably just more focused on the handprint than on anything else, to be honest.
Ooh, look, of course.
Ruby and Ash really come through for this one, though, because the DC for this was high. Ruby has managed the perception check, and Ash has managed the insight.
Teamwork.
Ruby, you notice that it's not, and I speak as a DM at this point, it's not just the music in Foundry that has stopped. It's the music of nature that has also stopped around you. The whistle of the wind through the trees is still. There is no sound of creatures. No woodpeckers, no buzzing bees, no flap of wings, nothing around you. And Ash, you think that this might have something to do similar to the way that the Murine blade worked, where it glows when something gets closer. And you are all now struck by the idea that nature is falling dead silent around you. And why might that be?
We needed to go 10 minutes ago. Let's go.
We need to get the hell out of here, guys.
Yeah, that's
We're
He's
boned.
definitely coming. He is coming.
The horse
got
has
what?
been healed, but is sort of eating some grass. Ash will need to get changed into a different form or start to fly. Victor and Briar will need to mount.
Yes.
I'm worried that I'm leading him to us.
As you
Well,
say that,
we're
and
in it
as
together.
Briar
Let's
and
go.
Victor get on top of this horse and Ash turns into whatever creature that they do, you start to hear the faint echoes of a scraping sword across the ground behind you.
Yep,
Oh,
let's go.
no.
Let's go.
I'm a
Giddy
horse
up.
now. Somebody get on my back.
Giddy up.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a horse now. Ash says through nays, just a brilliant way to end the session. Thank you everybody for being here. What a roller coaster! Wow, what a roller coaster! We went from
Oh my
you've
God.
just leveled up, you had a lovely time, you went to a tavern and made a friend, and suddenly everybody's out to try and find you, and a very important person it seems wants to talk to you. And you're now being hunted by the very thing that you didn't realize you were being chased by all of this time. Yeah. I will tell you now that I wanted to know just how far you would try to go, because I have been bearing in mind for like 5 or more sessions now, however long ago that dream was that Isabel had, that the holy man has been after you that whole time.
Oh crap!
And it
Oh,
was
man.
just very good of you to go from Ironfront to Dreidel to Linborough, and dart around them as much as you did, that he's not caught you up till now. But now he's on your tail. And it seems like the whole rest of the world is too.
Time to run.
How does everybody feel about that session?
Well, Ruby has definitely made some distinctly bad decisions that have definitely tanked it for the whole group.
Well, we've talked at martial arts training, haven't we, about like if Ruby does die because Ruby's so squishy that you'll just do Bongo Cat and just have a tabaxi that's a fucking bard and just do that meme of Bongo Cat.
Yeah, I have already established a plan of what happens when Ruby dies, because I realise how terribly my decision making has been going and how squishy Ruby is at 30 hit points.
Oh, it's been hilarious though, I've got to say. Yeah, it's been truly terrific to witness. Yeah. Well,
some wild rolls today too.
Really good rolls. Wow. And that pass without trace was clutch. If you didn't have that pass without trace, you would have fucked everybody.
Well, see, luckily, I had it as a spell already. I said it, and then it was like, well, I'm gonna store it in my ring just in case, and I'm really, really glad I did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think to resolve the cloak of Elvenkind that Victor has, if we do end up doing it so that they have disadvantage against Victor and Victor has advantage and all that, I think working with advantage in a group check works fine, but having disadvantage for them looking at you in a group check doesn't. I can't really balance that against everybody else because there's 5 other people, 6 at the moment with Leopold. So what we could do instead is we could change it from being group roles to being individual roles, but then that's more likely to
No,
split the
that's
party.
fine.
So
Yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
let you all decide, and you can discuss between
No,
yourselves
that's
if you
cool.
want, or we can just But I think that when Victor is like out on his own and he's trying to hide from people on his own, you'll get all of the advantages and none of the disadvantages. It's just that being in a group, it's harder to hide a whole group of 7 people, and one guy be a little bit harder to see. Do you get what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad that I terrified you all at the end there. That was my
Oh, gosh,
goal.
yeah.
Time to run.
Because I'm a little shitbird and I like to scare people.
And I feel
Wait, I
incredibly
thought I was the
guilty now.
shitbird.
It's kind of my kink.
But I'm the bird here, so I'm the shitbird.
But it's
come on
not
now.
your
You're
horse
sneaky
right
beaky.
now.
You're sneaky
No, I am.
beaky. I'm shitbird. That's the way it goes. The
Come
bird is the
on,
word, really.
Oh, all I wanted to do was try and give Leopold a job at the dairy, and it's really backfired.
Yeah, you've now included Leopold in an escape from all of the shit that you guys have done. It's almost
Yeah.
like I warned you when we started this whole campaign that I fully believe in consequences, and nobody has paid attention to that up until now. It's like you killed a guy the moment you saw him just because you got bad vibes from him finishing people off on a battlefield. You like didn't fully understand who he was. It was just an introduction to the character, and yet you started killing the guy. You then
I
exploded
didn't
a
want
fucking.
to.
You exploded a fucking sewer system by
Okay, look, that
speaking
wasn't our
so
fault.
loudly that 2 giant crocodiles brought the whole thing down.
That wasn't our
You
fault.
made a bargain with a creature that you do not fully understand. Yeah.
Hey, everything is fine. I now have spells.
Yeah. That is all that we care about, Ruby. That's literally everything that everybody cares about.
Exactly. I have a
Yeah.
whole 1 cantrip that can help reduce my damage, and I think that's all I need.
So good. I'm very pleased for you.
Right?
Great
That's
job.
what I needed to happen.
Well done. Well done, Ruby. I'm not being condescending whatsoever.
Thank you.
I have a raid target in mind if you were gonna raid out.
Well, I mean, I think that the people that are in channel at the moment are just the players, so it's fine. I think we'll go without. What I will do though is I will fully support your raid options, and everybody that is in Tats's stream at the moment, please make sure that you are following Tats, because Tats is a fucking epic individual, and everybody here who does stream is also an epic individual. We've got Mars, of course. Mars is so fucking great with all of the stuff that they do in their streams. I fucking love your what was it? It was New Vegas stream that you did the other day, and the art that you've been doing as well.
That was so scary with the bugs. Oh.
100%. And Tats,
What,
of
you mean
course, I've already
witches or
mentioned.
blood
Tats is
bugs?
fucking amazing.
No, I mean the
I love
praying
Tats' streams.
mantises.
Oh, those ones.
And of course, Giddy popped in as well for a brief moment. Giddy's
Yay.
streams are always a chaotic time.
Thank you.
So yeah, I will just shout out to the rafters everybody else because you're all fantastic. I know
Much
that
love.
Shen has been making some incredible crochet stuff that if Shen ever chooses to market those things, I know that they're going to sell like fucking hotcakes.
I don't have the speed to do loads.
Hey, you don't need to. An artisan
But
thing
you
is
can
just
make
as
them
good.
at your own pace and
Yeah.
put them on an Etsy.
Make them to commission or do an artisan thing. People will pay more for artisan shit.
I've only been doing it for 5 months.
I know that B has commissions, but you'd have to speak to B privately about that. And B's artwork is also incredible. B does not give themselves the artwork praise that they deserve. And the same goes for Victor. Victor, of course, Steve, you're a fucking incredible artist, and I love every bit of artwork that you do. And you've just done some
appreciate
artwork
that.
for a character
kind.
that I absolutely
very kind.
adore, all of it. But yeah, you really do smash it every single time that I see your artwork. It's always incredible.
Thanks, man.
And I've had the privilege
too,
of
man.
being with Steve at university for multiple years and seen all of the artwork that Steve has done.
Yes, we went to school
And
together.
fucking hell is all of that artwork incredible.
Cool.
As well as Siahi Studios, who is in the chat. Don, your artwork is fucking breathtaking, and I will always adore it in every aspect and every discipline that you ever go into. Please fucking go for it.
But his attitude sucks.
But his attitude sucks.
No, I'm joking.
Fucking-
I'm joking. He's a
He's
sweet.
a
he's a
fucking
sweet-
asshole.
sweet
No, he's actually like the
Exactly.
kindest, nicest, most humble person you could ever meet.
Yeah, little ray of sunshine.
Yeah. He's always like putting the tear emoji thing on in our WhatsApp chat, saying like, "Oh my god, your artwork is incredible," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, dude! Your artwork is incredible compared to mine." Like, don't. But then I've also heard recently a quote which I will end the stream with, which is, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Don't try and compare yourself to other people or compare artwork to other people's, because it's not going to do you any good. It will only make you take away from the joy of seeing either your own artwork or other people's. And I would never wish that on anybody, because artwork
Don's
is
work will
beautiful
always
for
be
everybody
better.
to
Here,
do.
here.
But yes,
It's
that
hard
being
to do
said,
that,
Don's
but yeah.
artwork is always better. So there we go. I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for
thank
enduring
you.
through. I think that a few people here have had been low on spoons today. Me in
Yeah,
particular.
Ever since this morning.
If anybody needs to talk about anything after this, or you just want to hit me up, play a game or whatever, I'm always here. I'm always up for it. If I've got the spoons, I'm there for you. And even if I don't, I'll muscle through and figure it out for you. Either way,
I love you all.
I'm going to go now.
Love you guys.
Thank you, everybody. Love you
And
all.
thank you.
Toodaloo.
Have a lovely week, and I'll
Bye.
see you either Monday or Thursday. Bye.